Zonius Rufus once said, "The human being is born with an inclination toward virtue." In the village of Oakhaven, survival was a sharp-edged lesson taught daily. Resources were scarce, winters were long, and hearts had grown as hard as the frozen earth. Here lived a boy named Arion. His father, a man calloused by loss, often instructed him, "Look only to yourself, boy. Charity is a fool's luxury. When you share your crust, you only create two beggars instead of one." Arion would nod, for he saw this wisdom everywhere. He saw the baker guard his flour, the neighbors hoard their firewood, and the merchants count their coins with suspicious eyes. The world, as he was taught, was a place of guarded fences. One afternoon, a small, stray dog, its fur matted and one leg held uselessly in the air, limped into the central square. The villagers shooed it away. Some threw stones, fearing disease or annoyance. "A useless mouth," Arion's father muttered, pulling his own cloak tighter. He forbade Arion from going near it. "It is not our concern. Nature is culling the weak." Arion obeyed. He went to his chores, trying to forget the animal, but a strange disquiet settled in him. It wasn't a thought. It was a feeling, a deep, persistent ache in his chest. He heard his father's practical words, but he saw the dog's shivering flank and its eyes, wide with a pain he didn't need a language to understand. He hadn't been taught to feel this. In fact, he had been actively taught against it. That evening, Arion was given his dinner, a small bowl of stew and a piece of dark bread. He sat by the window, the image of the dog returning to him. His father was in the other room, mending a strap. The lesson of self-preservation was clear: eat or be hungry later. But the inclination was stronger. It was a silent, unbidden command from somewhere deep within, a part of him that existed before the village's harsh rules. Quietly, Arion slipped the bread into his pocket. He ate his stew quickly, then claimed he was going to the woodpile. His heart hammered, not with fear of the dog, but of his father. He found the animal huddled behind the tannery, trembling violently. It snarled weakly as he approached. Arion stopped, placed the bread on the ground, and backed away. He watched from the shadows as the dog, after a long hesitation, dragged itself forward and devoured the food. Arion felt no sense of loss for his missed meal. Instead, the persistent ache in his chest eased, replaced by a quiet, settled warmth. He returned home empty-handed, yet feeling fuller than he had all day. He had not done it for praise or reward, and certainly not because he was told to. He had done it because the sight of suffering had triggered a default setting in his soul, an impulse to help that was as natural and unthinking as breathing. The world had taught him to be hard, but he had been born with an inclination to be good. If this story connected with you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.